And then I'm going to check on the Facebook too to make sure. The Facebook.
The Facebook.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking the sound now. You know, it's a little bit of a lag on Facebook. It says meeting is now. Yes. Let's see. Checking the sound now. Yeah, guess what? We're live. Lag on Facebook. We're live. Ladies, I'm so happy to be virtually meeting with you this morning. And I have a new friend, Kathleen, as of this week. So feel so blessed to be your new friend. And my dear Patty LaRocco.
Hey.
Patty and I spent a couple of days together at a retreat that changed my life forever. Do you still have flashbacks to that retreat, Patty?
Flashbacks, to say the least. That's a nice way to put it.
Flashbacks. And I'm just here
everlasting friends from that trip.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. I'm just here holding the space for these two amazing women to tell their story about what they're doing in, you know, this, I guess we call this quarantine life, right? Pandemic shutdown. And I'm so excited about getting this word out with you because it's just so direct. It's you know, my motto is dare to do, just do it. And you guys are doing it. So I'm just going to hand it over to you. Tell us your story.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having us. And we're so excited to be here. And yeah, dare to do. My motto is ready, shoot, aim, you know, and that was a little bit of how this happened. But like so many people, we're in quarantine, feeling helpless, watching these amazing heroes on the front lines, and we started to hear about the need for masks. And Patty, being a New Yorker and having been through 9/11 and knowing what this was like, you know, she has the place to place a mask. I happen to have a brother who lives in Mexico, and I also have a warehouse that is sitting doing nothing right now because I'm in quarantine, I can't work, but I ship jewelry every day for a living. And we realized that we each had a piece of a puzzle and that maybe we could do something to get masks to New York. So connected with my brother, and basically he is in Mexico going to a mask factory every day, buying as many masks as he has, taking them to FedEx, FedExing them to me. Patty is connecting with New York, finding out where the need is and making the contacts, and we are just getting them into New York and places in need as fast as we can. So we just kind of, the three of us just came together and realized that we could do something.
And it started really organically, like God's Love We Deliver needed masks. And then, you know, once people started sharing it on Facebook, other people started coming to us, like we just got a hospital outside of New Orleans that needs it, or a mother that has a daughter who's a nurse at Swedish Hospital in Seattle when they got hit. And we've been doing this since, what was it, March 23rd?
It was early. And I think one of the things too is that we moved our first masks within 48 hours. I've, you know, PayPal'd my brother some money. He went to the factory and they were here in my studio in boxes going out within, it really did happen so fast. And like Patty's saying, once we realized that we could do this, the need just started opening up, and people,
police departments, EMTs, church groups. You know, we have a church up in the Bronx that the parishioners clean hospitals, and some were dying and they asked for help. So it's just been really like heart-wrenching, tender, humble.
Woo, this is what you get when you're live.
busy people.
To be doing this. And then yesterday, a major event like Liz Gilbert just posted it, and now it just went completely viral, you know, during this pandemic. And a lot of people have reached out to us about that too, that are in need. You know, the prison in Chicago we're connecting with.
So this is far beyond New York. This is taken on life
everywhere. It's far beyond
what
us.
what we thought this would be. We thought this would be a nice little kind of hobby, keep us busy, keep us
a way to help while we're in quarantine. We can't do
Yeah.
anything else. We could at least do this, and it's been amazing. So
I'm blown away at the fact that, like you telling me the story, how quickly you get the masks and how quickly they go out. So when we were speaking, I reached out and I said, what can I do to help? I'm like this behind this. I love doing geeky things like technology and making it easier for people to connect. So, one of the things you all shared with me was that not only, it's great to donate. You have a GoFundMe page, and we'll put the link in here. But also, you were saying to me, we want to know who needs these masks.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right?
I was going to say what we're finding is that there's kind of, there's the official channels of getting masks to the hospitals and doctors, and then there's this kind of direct contact with other people on the front lines, or people who know somebody who can just walk them right in, and we can get them where they are critically needed.
So handing
much
them
faster.
to the doctors, and the doctors bringing them into the hospitals.
So they're, we're the little ninjas coming in underneath, just filling it in. And these places that are forgotten, there's so many, there's the hospitals and that whole thing, but then there's all these support people, like the ones making the meals and cleaning and stuff, and they have nothing.
There was a nursing home in Montclair. It just like spread like wildfire. Nurses' aides weren't showing up because they didn't have any masks. I'm friends with somebody in real estate, an attorney. His wife works at the hospital. She was reusing a mask. We sent a bunch there. So it's all very, very personal. And
which is where you had your great idea to help us.
And seeing it, and us being friends and seeing what I was doing. And that's how it's spreading. And it's really kind of taking a life of its own. And it's amazing. It feels really, really good to help.
It does. And especially, what I'm feeling, and a lot of people that I do speak to feel helpless, right? They're in their home. How many series can you binge watch on Netflix, right? before you go crazy. So they want to do something. And I'm just going to pull up something that is posted below, but we want for you all, and let me just make sure I have it on my screen here, to go to a page that we put together. It's a simple Google Doc, actually Google form, and I'm going to say share here. We'll make sure everybody gets your information too. But we see it on this, right? We see it on the screen here, right? So what we're asking, you're going to see the link. You'll have a link to go to if you want to donate, which is amazing. Tell me what happened after Liz posted. How did the money come in, and how many shares did you guys get? It was crazy, right?
It was crazy. It was so magical that, we were both just incredibly humbled, and it's been, Patty has a better gauge on the numbers, but it's, just realizing how much people want to help. Everybody wants to do something.
And we're talking about like 1,000 donations of $10, $20. It was
amazing,
unbelievable. It makes me cry. Like how many people want to help out there with a simple thing like a mask that should be available to everybody, and has become the symbol of this pandemic, really,
Yeah. So, and that's so wonderful. We thank Liz so much. And what we would love for you, if you're watching this, to just share what it is that we're doing here on your Facebook page. So you can get a little inspiration. And certainly if you know someone who needs masks, we have the form that will be linked here. We're calling this effort Rock the Med Mask. Because you guys are rock stars. And
we're making it up. I like it.
rockthemedmask.com. You got it. And and just fill this out and let us know where so Kathleen and Patty can get these masks out, and we're really inviting you, as I said, to share this story and give everyone the gift of feeling like they can make a difference. One of the things I wanted to ask you about, you mentioned earlier when we were speaking this week, that the mask on top of the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that to me, because that's, I didn't.
Yeah, so we've learned a lot about masks and how they can be helpful and used. So really, the doctors and the nurses need the N95s, but what they're doing though is they're using the masks like that we are providing to protect the N95s, because they're having to reuse them beyond the time that they should. So even though this isn't
and the medical grade surgical masks that
Yeah.
are accordion masks that can go right over and keep them clean.
Yeah. So even though, this isn't the high tech gear, we're protecting the high tech gear. We're also bringing in these masks, which can be used on, patients and all different places, and preserving the really scarce higher end resources for the people that are literally with the COVID patients, need to be shielded and all that kind of stuff. So even, every mask does help, because there's such a shortage, and you need the right, we've learned a lot about masks, trust me. Like, I didn't know anything about masks. I've learned so much. And part of what we've been trying to do too is match the right mask with the right places where it can be of the greatest and most direct use. So
we had like 20,000 cloth masks that were really perfect for Meals on Wheels and God's Love We Deliver, because they're preparing food for others, and we don't want somebody who is asymptomatic to get somebody sick, right? So that was prevented. And then now that we got these surgical masks, they can actually go into hospitals and nursing facilities.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by, how efficient you are. For every dollar somebody donates, a mask can be procured and delivered, correct?
Yeah.
That's
crazy. Yeah. And it's amazing, because I am, my studio, I used to ship stuff every day. So I'm like literally making the labels. They're in boxes. They're going out the door the minute we get the masks in. Boom, they're all, here, there, everywhere. We're just sending them.
And it's actually under $1. We're like at 80 cents in and out from Mexico shipping.
Yeah. That's what the overnight shipping and we're just
doing it.
Yeah.
Dare to do, just do it. What was that, Kathleen? What was your?
I said ready, shoot, aim, because
She's from the South. I wouldn't say that in New York, okay?
Yeah, but honestly,
and I'm a cop's daughter.
It has nothing to do with where I live. It has that I am an entrepreneur through and through. Have always ever worked for myself, and if you want to get stuff done, get an entrepreneur to get it, because we know how to start it.
A woman and an entrepreneur.
Just in motion and correct, but just get it started. Get it. I didn't know what I knew there was something here. And when we just got it going, we've adjusted and refined, and it's grown so much. But yeah.
And now it's beyond us.
It's way beyond us.
Now we're just like, okay, we need 50,000 masks. Like, it's beyond us.
Yeah, it's kind of humbling and so amazing to watch what people just watch the response, And I wanted to say earlier, so gracious, you said we're rock stars. We're just people. We're just people that did something. The rock stars, I'm telling you, I get kind of emotional, but they're on the front lines, I'm sitting at home, not able to do anything, but I just wanted to do something to support the rock stars.
Yeah, thank you for all of your efforts, every healthcare worker out there, every person who's stepping up to the plate, delivering food, helping people in need. Thank you. Yeah. And in New York, what do they do at 7:00 in the evening?
She gets
it's amazing. Yeah. I cry every evening.
Yeah.
And I do believe that we're going to emerge from this event. I was doing a lot of thinking around this, and in Abraham Hicks and law of attraction, and just how the world works. We need contrast right? To appreciate the beauty, the love, and boy, be careful of what you ask for. This event is a big contrast, right, to how we were living. So we're going to emerge from this with more love, closer, and I feel so blessed that I've reconnected with you, Patty, and we got to do this today. But everybody out there who's with us, have appreciation for what was, and just know what will be is going to be a more powerful, loving, connected environment for us all to be in. I truly believe that. You ladies feel that, right?
Yeah. Feel it. And because of what we're doing, the electricity and the energy that's coming towards, it's overwhelming. It's some days are pretty intense,
Like, give me an example of a day, like just.
I mean, originally we're driving around. I mean, it hit a small hospital here in Georgia, like bad, like a community, maybe how far outside of Atlanta?
That's 4 hours, but it's a small, they've had the highest death rate in the country, I think, like
and they had nothing. So this was really early on. This was maybe 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Early on, 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Imagine,
yeah.
It's like, but we saw, like, it was just so, like, it was sad. It was, people were driving up, picking up the masks, bringing them there, and it was just really intense.
And then to answer, I mean, the whole thing, and then we were having people that were like physically coming and driving them down to the hospital because they couldn't wait. They're like, well, I'll come, I'll pick them up, friends of friends driving them. To answer your question, what a day looks like, I mean, literally, I start my day with usually on the phone with customs, and I've learned about NAFTA, customs codes, how to do, I don't know, I've never, received boxes. I come to my studio early to wait for Kevin, the FedEx man who wears our mask, was delivering packages with no mask. Like these FedEx people who are keeping the supply chains open need to have masks. So Kevin comes with these boxes. By that point, I have a stack of papers that are texts and direct messages and emails that have accumulated of people like, oh my gosh, we need masks, we need masks, we need masks. I print those all out. I sit here with these boxes and I count out masks. I create labels. I put in notes to people, please stay safe. Oh my gosh, pack them all up. And then
these were donated by?
Yeah, these were donated by so-and-so. And by the end of the day, there's an empty box that was full of masks at the start. There's a big giant pile of boxes that are going all over the place. Sometimes Patty comes and drives them around town and drops them off in person because time is of the essence. We just hand deliver them. People run out of the hospitals to the parking lots to pick these up in a no-touch situation. And they're, within minutes of leaving her hands, they're in the places on people. They're busting open the packs.
And everybody in New York that I send them to, we're sending tracking numbers so they can track them because they need them so fast that they want the tracking numbers to know when they're coming in. Did somebody sign for them? It's
so it's like I'm literally running to FedEx and UPS and the post office and just disseminate, and then we just started all over the next morning. The next box comes from Mexico. We collect the funds, we send them down there. My brother goes, gets more, and we just.
And let's like have a hand for your brother too. I mean,
oh my God! Yay, the dude, and I'll tell you, like,
what a special man.
Kind of interesting, but when he went to this factory, he had to go through so many security checkpoints. They fumigate his car. My 6'6" strapping brother puts on a hairnet and a mask and a whole suit, booties, scrubs down, and then he sits and he waits for 6 hours in 110-degree weather for his turn to go in with the money to see what he can buy. I mean, I'm so in awe. And I mean, one time we were trying to get as many as we could. He took my nephew's piggy bank because he knew he had my teenage nephew had money in there just in case he was short. And sure enough, he's like using my nephew's piggy bank. We're going to pay him back, don't worry. But to get as many as possible. And then he drives them to FedEx and sends them up here. So,
it's Kevin, right? Is that your brother's name?
Kevin's a FedEx guy. David is my brother.
Oh, okay. Kevin's the FedEx guy.
Yeah. I mean, this is our
Kevin,
I want to make something clear about the Mexico connection too.
Yeah.
It's they've never exported. This is like just extras that are coming off the factory. It's made for the Ministry of Health for Mexico. They're making $1 million a day for the hospitals.
Probably even over $1 million.
For the hospitals in Mexico. We're not taking anything from their supply chain. Yeah. Okay, this is just something personal. David had a relationship, created it, that we're getting. Now we can get 25,000 a day because our needs have gone way up. Originally we had 2,500. Our first,
like 1,000.
Our first shipment was 2,500. Now we're getting 25,000 a day. I'm awestruck, and this is just the extras that they can give us. We're not stopping a supply chain.
Yeah. Which I think is, it's super cool that this is like outside of the system.
Well, everyone wins. That just came to mind. Like, everyone wins. We can be in this world. We can be together in situations where everyone wins, instead of a zero-sum game.
Exactly.
Or competition, or
Well, it's just people. We're people in different locations working together. This is what it is. Just humanity.
Well, let's blow this up. I'm inviting anybody who is here watching this, if you're in a geography where you want to be an ambassador for Rock the Mask, we have the link in the comments here on this, and hopefully the people who are watching this live will get this out, and certainly this will be on our Facebook, so you can share this with people and let's find out who needs these masks. And certainly if you're called to contribute, there's a way you can do that financially, where every single cent of your money goes directly to getting these masks and getting them out. And we want to be clear about that too, right? So, okay, I think we're a little frozen here. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Patty and Kathleen, for this amazing opportunity to get the word out. And as I said, Rock the Mask, the link is below the GoFundMe page and the page where you can put in requests for people who need masks. Bye now.